Hello, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the channel and clicking on this review. Presumably, I think I have a massive overlap audience with the AARP crowd, so I think this is going to be one of the highest watched videos on my channel. I'm gonna go viral with this. This is Book Club 2. I'm a blind film critic, so I watch films with audio description, and Book Club 2, The Bookening, is on Peacock with audio description. So a lot of times I go back and I review the original film and then the sequel so that we can get equal. I really didn't want to watch Book Club again. It's fine, but it's not a film I ever need to see again. It came out in 2018 when I was already blind, and I sat through it and listened to it, and it was fun. I gave 80 for Brady a B minus. Book Club would probably be a B minus C plus. It's been 5 years, so I'm not gonna officially give it a grade, but it's probably about that for me. And it's a talented cast, and they're all just charismatic, and that's all you really need to know. And it's supposed to be edgy because the women are reading 50 Shades of Grey. That was what the first film was. And now in Book Club 2, Electric Boogaloo, we've got the girls are back. We've got Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen are back for this film. And most of the guys from the first film are back. For some reason, this film seems to want to perpetually leave Candice Bergen unhinged. So, unfortunately, neither Wallace Shawn nor Richard Dreyfuss have been offered a spot back in the sequel. But we did get Craig T. Nelson, Andy Garcia, and Don Johnson are all back as well. So this is a pretty stacked returning cast for those of you who enjoy returning cast. Apparently not that many, because this did not do well at the box office. So it kind of bombed. But we've been having a hard time getting seniors to come out to movies since the pandemic. The Downton Abbey sequel underperformed. I mean, 80 for Brady did okay, but it didn't do gangbusters. It just did better than people thought it was going to, because it was originally supposed to be a Paramount Plus film. So just because they pivoted and it went wide release and made some money doesn't necessarily mean it was a massive hit. So I don't think we're going to get a sequel to that. But here in Book Club 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, we've got the girls are talking about the pandemic. They're in the middle of the pandemic, and so we get to watch four older ladies struggle with technology and talk over Zoom and go through all the things that supposedly everybody went through the pandemic. There's the banging of the pots outside the window to support the medical employees. Everybody's talking about losing their job. Mary Steenburgen has to close her restaurant. Candice Bergen, apparently we just stopped doing court things entirely because she just totally she had the one job that that I think we kept doing, but yet as a judge she's just like, nah, I'm at home now, and I live here, and she gets a cat or something, and I don't know, it's very depressing. And Diane Keaton is still, I guess, kind of the lead of the four, because she kind of narrates, not heavily, just a little bit. It's like some narration in the beginning to sort of explain where they've been to where they are now, like catch-up narration, I guess you could say. Eventually we get to the point, though, where we learn that the plot of the film is going to be Jane Fonda is tying the knot with Don Johnson, and also the pandemic is over and the girls finally get to meet up again, and they all survived. Don't worry, there are no depressing so-and-so didn't make it through the pandemic deaths. All the 7 main cast members I mentioned already all survived the pandemic. I know that's a spoiler, but in case anybody was thinking this was going to be pandemic porn, it's not. Unfortunately, Book Club 2, Book of Shadows, is not is not that at all. It is, in fact, a film that allows a bunch of well-known actors and actresses to travel to Italy, because eventually they decide, hey, you know what? We can travel now. Let's travel to Italy. They have a lot of reasons. It actually takes them quite a while to decide whether or not to travel to Italy, to the point where I actually stopped and talked audibly to them. I was like, can we please fucking make up our minds about going to Italy? I felt like 5 minutes of this film was devoted to talking about, like, should we go to Italy? It was just like, they just kept talking back and forth. Like, I don't know. Should we go? I don't know about it. I feel like we've got so much going on here. And I was like, oh my God, please advance the plot of this film. I feel like this film is going to be trapped in a conversation about them talking about Italy forever and ever. So yes, they eventually decide to go to Italy, and they travel there. And of course, my first thought was, well, obviously, Candice Bergen, the one female who has no man, will find herself the hot Italian, because that's where every film goes. This film, really decided. Book Club 2 Simba's Pride decided to really just go a different way. You know, it just I guess Candice Bergen she will forever be single. No matter how many Italian men you meet in this film, I'm gonna spoil it and say she's alone at the end of the film. I mean, they have all these Italian men that pop up with their, I am Italian, this is my accent, and I am charmed by beautiful ladies. And it doesn't matter. None of them want to date Candice Bergen. I don't understand. I guess, it's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. So, she spends the whole film. I kept wanting Wallace Shawn to just like pop up in Italy and be like, I love you! Pick me! But no, sadly. Yeah, I don't know, it's just them getting into shenanigans in Italy for the rest of the film, and it's supposedly because it's her, bridesmaids party. It's like an extended bridesmaids party. They also bought the dress in Italy. It must be nice to be wealthy. That's all I gotta say. It must be so nice to be able to fly to another country and buy your wedding dress and be able to stay over there and have your whole like bridesmaids party thing be this trip, gal pal trip, and then also have your wedding over there. Like, the whole thing becomes in Italy. Even the guys, I guess this is a spoiler. I'm just spoiling the whole thing. I don't know that the film really can be spoiled. I would spoil the film if I was like, surprise, Diane Keaton dies. And this film does not care enough to do any of that. This film is just about random, lighthearted shenanigans for these women to get into. It thinks it's quirky because it likes to make a dick joke every once in a while. I mean, that's what makes it edgy. They stare at a statue and it's one of the naked men statues, and they're like, I think Jane Fonda made the comment about like, because they're making a joke about the size of the penis on the naked man statue, and they're like, she says something like, cut him some slack. He's been rock hard for 1,000 years. It's like, oh, I'm glad we went for that joke. I'm glad we went for it. Thank you for that joke. Yes, that makes you edgy. We're gonna up you to an R rating just for that. I don't know, this film is an R, but yes. So if you like these actors and you like these actresses and you want to see them in Italy and you liked Book Club, you will like this. They're just as charming, and unlike some other films where I've seen these actors sleepwalking through roles, I just reviewed Diane Keaton in Maybe I Do, and that film was not good. She also did Mac and Rita, which was not good. This is not a film that feels like they're sleepwalking their way through it. These ladies genuinely seem to enjoy each other's company. They have noticeable chemistry on screen. Every guy that shows up seems to be able to produce the necessary chemistry to be opposite whichever their female companion is in the film. So everything kind of, it's nice and it's easy. And for a lot of people, for the time spent, this is going to be a nice trip away. For those in the blind community, if you're wondering, the audio description here is quite fantastic in terms of being able to describe a lot of what they're seeing, what the girls are doing, what the girls are wearing, because for some reason it's actually not as dialogue heavy as one would think. I think they're taking advantage of the landscape in which they're paying to shoot the film, so they want to make sure that they get a lot of shots of girls in front of, in Italy, actually doing things and wearing these expensive dresses and going out to fancy dinners, exploring Italy, so to speak. So there's actually quite a bit of narration. It's not a film that is hard to narrate, and it's done really pretty well. So I was pretty happy with the audio description, but this is just kind of just passive entertainment. I don't know that anybody will remember it. I would be shocked if they made a book club 3, but if they made a book club 3 without finding someone for Candace, I don't even care at this point. Anyone. Literally, she has the worst character arc in this film. Like, everybody seems to, like, everything she seems to know has, like, gone away. The film begins with, like, her cat dying. And then it just, like, I don't know, it's just, she's lamenting. She's like, I hate it when all these people ask me to perform their weddings. What does she end up doing at the end of the film? Performing a wedding? It's just, it's like, her character arc in this film is so bizarre. So if they're going to do a third film, at least do something nice for her character. I thought this film was just like, here's 3 women having a great time, and the 4th one, she's like the Rebel Wilson of the group or something. Like, she's like, there's something wrong with her, and it's like hard to find somebody. I think she's delightful. I love Candice Bergen. I don't know why, I don't know why we can't put people with her, or why she chose to be in a character arc like this. It's so bizarre. I don't think this is as good as the original. At least with the original, we had some of these ladies meeting up with these guys for the first time and enjoying that romance, but they're all with the guys, and so this is just about walking around Italy. So it's not even as interesting as the first film. It's just like, did you like these actresses? Here's a movie with more of them. There you go. Enjoy. So I am going to give Book Club 2 Reloaded Book Club 2 The Lost World. I'm going to give it a C+. If between this and 80 for Brady at least had stakes. This kind of doesn't have stakes. This is just 4 entertaining actresses walking around Italy, and then their guys come, and then the movie ends. So that's it. I realize I spoiled the film, but I don't think this film is spoilable, unless you were hoping against all hope that somebody would love Candice Bergen. But I mean, that's what I was hoping for, and unfortunately the film just wants to see her be single. I don't know. So there you go. There's power in being single. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to my website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. And it'll let you know who is narrating your favorite films and television shows. Because, man, Peacock kicked me out of this, like, they do like an animated credits thing at the end where she's like, the narrator's starting to describe how they're going through the credits. It's like it's like going back through scenes from the film. It didn't care. Peacock did not care. They were like, you are going to watch something else right now. And I got ripped out of the credits like as soon as they started. It's just started to tell me like what was happening during the credits, and suddenly I'm like, you're in something else. I'm like, damn it, stop doing that. Anyway, I will see you guys on the other side.